While watching this Zoom or any of my other Zooms, if you think of anybody that should be in contact with me, you can send an email to Sean, SEAN, at gcexperts.com, and who knows, you might see them in a future Zoom.
Hi, Sean.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Fabulous. How can I help you guys?
All right. Forgive me. This isn't necessarily my project, but I'm over just trying to jump in and trying to get us, get us, in a good spot on this one. The short and skivvy on this is that we have a project. And I've got, sorry, my, PM Jerry, he's coming in, now. Uh, so Jerry McCall is my PM on the job. So we currently have the VA fire alarm project. So we were contracted to replace fire alarm and fiber optic in VA facility here in Canandaigua. We contracted Huitt Young, which is a local shop here in Rochester. And their proprietary fire alarm and controls for this project is Johnson Controls. So essentially, what has taken place is that we submitted contract to Huitt Young. They in turn issue contract to Johnson Controls, and then Johnson Controls then started their engineering side of said project, right? They have a 6 to 8 week turnaround time for their shop drawings, if you will, and from their engineering team. And essentially, what's happened at this point is that there were some discrepancies within the drawings from the engineer and architect drawings for the bid for the project, and then what JCI or Johnson Controls engineering team is finding out with throughout this process. They're essentially holding up progress and not able to start on site with commencement of work due to the delay of these said shop drawings and submittals.
The
So
delay of the review or the delay of providing them?
delay of submission. So they have not supplied these to Huitt Young, and then Huitt Young has not in turn supplied them to us. So there has been no submission of shop drawings to date, as well as the submittals, because the shop drawings and design depict the submittals needed.
What does it say in their contract about the time to create these drawings and submit them?
So in their contract, they spelled out 6 to 8 weeks from time of
Okay.
contract. But they've hit some snags as far as the accuracy of the drawings that were sent out to bid, which Matt had enlightened me to to get a hold of you and to try to.
Okay.
Oh,
And so what you have is what I think I'm hearing is that the government provided drawings to create these schematic drawings for the controls of the fire protection system or what have you. And because of these discrepancies, they've had to do more work, which is therefore a change order, or should be a change order back to the federal government because of the lack of the accuracy of the drawings. Is that what I'm hearing?
yes, and that was kind of divulged to me this morning, that they are going to be incurring a cost from JCI. It's going to be
Absolutely.
going upstream to Huitt Young, and then in turn, I think that ultimately we will end up seeing that.
So
Um,
basically, the concept here is, and by the way, I've worked with Jason or Johnson Controls over the years, and my dad has history with them dating back to the 80s. Um, so they can provide a letter that says, hey, we've got additional costs, we need additional time. That goes up through your subcontractor, then goes up through you, and everybody gets overhead and profit on top of that. So when you've got that letter from JCI, which I don't know, you need to extend the period of performance and that kind of stuff. But when you get those letters up the chain, and you're drafting your letter to the federal government, let me know, and I'll give you some examples of letters that I've written over the years in similar situations.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so at this point we do have an individual that is he's his name's Nicholas Wynn, and he's really putting he chimes in every once in a while and then just kind of flexes a little bit
Who
via
does he work for?
he is, I believe, Jerry, is he the
Contract
yeah,
officer
he is the
for the
contracting
VA.
officer.
Okay, and so he chimes in and says what?
So basically he gets in there, he flexes a bit. Why aren't you guys on site? So on and so forth. And this is the second correspondence we've had with them, and then they have issued a letter of concern that we received yesterday.
Oh, well, you could have started with that. Um, so yeah, you do need to respond to that. And I would
Hmm.
get on top of JCI and have them create their letter and their costs associated with this change order uh, immediately. But it needs to come, you don't have privity of contract with JCI. Your sub does. What was their acronym?
Hewitt Young.
Hewitt Young. Okay. So they've got to submit their request to Hewitt Young. Hewitt Young has to submit it to you, and then you have to submit it to the contracting officer.
Okay. And how do we go about with the schedule wise and the inaccuracy of their drawings that were sent out at pre-bid? Obviously, those are the ones that we bid off. Those are the drawings. And then also there was not CAD drawings attached to this, which JCI had put a request in.
Is this a design build or is it a firm fixed price contract?
Firm fixed, but it is design assist because of proprietary controls from JCI.
Okay. Then look, if they wanted proprietary controls from JCI, they're going to have to live with the results that JCI is telling them. So this is really just a slam dunk situation. The way that I would present this to the contracting officer in regards to time is you guys have a responsibility to have at some point created a schedule. And I never know the capabilities of the people I'm talking to, but do you understand how critical path method scheduling works?
Hmm.
Yeah. So you just drop it in there and just shoves everything out, and you just show them and say, we're not doing jack shit until you guys issue a modification of the contract for the time and the money.
Okay. Okay.
You guys wanted JCI. We got you JCI, and now you have to live with the results.
Yeah, they're not. I've worked with them many times throughout the years, me being in mechanicals, and they do a lot of control work, and they're just not the easiest to deal with. They just, they're a worldwide company. They just operate by the
Oh,
terms.
yeah, no question about it. We made a lot of money over the years by there used to be a system called BackNet. I imagine
Yep.
it still exists today,
Yeah, it still
but
exists. Yep.
and we would just go in there and say we're not using JCI. We're not using. There was another one started with an H. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was another big outfit. Let's see, it was Johnson Controls. Carrier had a controls division called something SIS or something.
Siemens Controls has been pretty large.
Siemens,
Yeah.
yeah, and in fact, my dad got into a lawsuit with the federal government once, the Air Force. I think it was Colorado Springs. It might have even been the Air Force Academy. But when they went through, what Siemens did was they held their bid until 10 minutes before the public bid opening. And there was no way that we could have gotten our bid in on time. So we turned a bid in anyway.
Hmm.
And when the whole thing went to court, through the discovery, my dad actually went and sat down in the government's file room and went through all the files physically. And then they subpoenaed all the files from Siemens, but they found a note that nobody expected that would be in the files, but it was right there, and it said, "Fuck Doug Reitmeyer, don't send this shit until a couple of minutes before it's due."
Oh.
And my dad tells the story. He says, I'll never forget when Tom was our attorney, and he got the guy on the stand and said, "Could you please explain exactly what you meant by this memo?"
No. Just looking for clarity here. No. No, all right. Um, okay, so I think I've got a good narrative of in direction on which I need to go through. I have also solicited the response from JCI to Hewitt Young. I met with them this morning. Basically, I wanted clarification of basically all of their questions to date, right? What discrepancies are there between the drawings so that some
Well, if
supporting
you have
documentation.
open issues, that's different than, look, I interpreted from what you said earlier that they already know what these issues are, how much it's going to cost, and how much extra time they're going to need. But
Mhm.
if you have questions, then that needs to flow up immediately to respond to this letter of concern, that, we are perplexed why the federal government would issue drawings that are inaccurate in 17 different ways. And here they are. And we need explicit direction in order to proceed, because we can, would you say design assist, we can design assist all day long, but if it doesn't meet the requirements of what the which agency are we?
Well, it's fire alarm. It impacts
Oh,
fire alarm, so it's all life
VA. No,
safety.
the agency was VA. Yeah. So to
Oh,
meet
sorry.
the Veterans Administration's needs, so yeah, we need to get that letter together. And if you want to run if you want to draft something up and run it by me, just send it to me. And I'm usually pretty quick about wordsmithing.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. Okay. So I will try to get something drafted up and I will get it over to you for review. Would it help if I I'm trying to get them to expedite this list of essentially RFIs that I think that should be attached with it. Because basically we didn't pick Johnson Controls. So
I
this is
wouldn't call it an RFI. Yeah, I would draft it like an RFI, but I would just make it a serialized letter as part of the
okay.
contract. And
Okay.
RFI, I generally speaking only use the term RFI in pre-bid, pre-award.
Okay.
If you got an ambiguity in the contract or something like that. But
Hmm.
usually, I just like to issue letters to the federal government and let them suck on it.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it, Sean. So essentially, if this letter of concern, they want a response by 1:30, we need to get we need to put a timeline on our sub to
Yeah,
get it
this
back
is the
quicker.
first that I'm hearing that there's a timeline. Yeah, generally a letter of concern, you've got, you know, a few days to respond to that. But if they put a time on it, uh, I mean, maybe the response is we're still collecting information, but here's what we know at this moment.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I'd be pushing. Yeah, I'd be on top of these guys. In fact, the letter of concern is public information. So, one methodology that you might consider, and look, with me, anytime I make a recommendation, you can tone it up or tone it down. Okay. But, uh, but one suggested thing that you can do with your Hewitt, whatever, and JCI is say, this is the letter that we just received from the federal government. As you know, the responsibility of A, B, C, D falls on you per your subcontract agreement. If you guys can't get me a response by 1 p.m. to give you guys half an hour extra time, then we are going to provide a response, and any extra costs associated with pulling the information together that you're responsible for will be back charged to your subcontract agreement. This isn't your fucking responsibility. It's Hewitt, whatever. You exchanged dollars for responsibility, did you not?
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, I got my honey to-do list. Yeah, I mean, I again, forgive me. It's I have not dealt with a letter of concern from the government to
Well, the
date.
thing
So
is
just
you got to be telling you, it's not our. It, what was the wording that I was looking for? We're not gonna let you put our reputation in jeopardy.
mhm. Agreed.
That's
Agreed.
that's the messaging to Hewitt, whatever.
Okay.
And yeah, the government picked JCI, but you told that to Hewitt ahead of time. You got to
That is
use
correct.
JCI.
That is correct.
I need to be sitting on my boat drinking Mai Tais while you fucking answer this goddamn letter.
I like it. Okay.
And Sean, if I could add just one quick statement to that. Um, as soon as we knew that the drawings that they provided were not the CAD drawings that JCI had specifically requested, we met with the VA. They were going to provide the CAD drawings, and then they delayed, and they said they didn't understand why we needed CAD drawings.
Okay, timeout.
Yep.
This is new information to me. Okay. You can ask the government for extra additional whatevers, but you still have a contract. Okay. And so the interpretation, notice I didn't use the word assumption. The interpretation by, I don't know what your company is. What's your company name?
Tactical.
Tactical instruction.
Tactical. Okay. So the interpretation by Tactical was that when you bid this job, you had enough information to bid it, to perform it. The government has a reasonable expectation that you have enough information to bid it, to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If all of a sudden you guys find out that there's missing information, well, you should have figured that out ahead of time. Okay. So the question is reason, or the situation here is reasonable interpretation. Hold on just one second. I got another guy with a cure notice. Hey, Brendan. It's going good. I'm talking to some other guys about a letter of concern, but you took higher priority because you actually have a cure notice. I think the guy offered you an olive branch on giving him some extra warranty. And I think I'd take that deal based on the response that he put out this morning. I mean, look, can we fight this and win? Yeah, but it's going to cost you an extra $5,000 or $6,000 that you just don't need to spend. The extra warranty costs you nothing.
So, um,
Look, you can do this for free. You can file a claim and ask for a contracting officer's final decision. Okay. But this guy has already expressed to us that he's kind of a dick. Okay. It's like trying to hold people accountable in the government. You know, even if you go the whole 9 yards and we're sitting in front of a judge and you prove that he's just being a dick, what do you get? Yeah. Well, Yeah, you're gonna get a little bit of money because if you go hire Bob Simon right now, Bob Simon's going to charge you, a couple $1,000s just to reply to this thing. Okay. But if you do that and then file a claim, his costs are recoverable in the claim. Like you have up to the point of the claim, any costs you have establishing your position are recoverable if you win. Well, look, 15 years ago, I used to charge $1,000 a day to go out to people's offices and handle situation like this in person. And and even though they paid me $1,000 a day, we could only get $600 back per day because that's all the government could pay as reasonable. So that's right. So yeah, give them a concession. Yeah, give them a concession, go out there, finish the job, and move the fuck on and pray for a good CPARS. Because, if we have to go fight a CPARS thing, I mean, we can do that. But, in fact, I might say, hey, we'll give you the extra warranty. We want a fair CPARS rating, nothing, discriminating or, a poor CPAR. We don't want to see poor CPARs. Because other than this, that's your federal government review, CPARS. It used to be PPIRS, Past Performance Information Retrieval System. They changed it to CPARS, but I would negotiate that as part of the deal. We want a good CPARS rating. Because other than this issue, you guys did a great job. All right, sounds good. Bye. Sorry, guys.
Hey, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just kind of heard a little bit more about your conversation there. It kind of helps us as well.
Yeah.
So
that's why you have a guy like me on your team, because I can have every level of conversation in this business.
okay. All right. So like I said, I think we got a good understanding of where to go from here. We have a response date of 1:30. Close of business day for this letter. I think we'll go through the appropriate channels as you had discussed, going to Huitt Young going to JCI, and so on and so forth, and basically toting the line on their responsibility to follow through on their contractual obligation.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Sean is. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
Well, I was just about to say I appreciate your time, Sean, and you just kind of clarifying this and whose parties are actually responsible after receiving a letter like this, and who kind of basically where we light our fire first. So,
Yep.
Sean, is this the best way to reach out to you if in the future? Just I think that my team wasn't sure how to reach out to you.
What works best, I mean, let's start from the top down. What works best is connect with me on Telegram. If you need the instructions on how to connect with me on Telegram, send an email to me and ask for it. I'll send you a video, connect with me on Telegram. Second is send me a text and say, hey, we want to get on a Zoom. And so those are probably the two best ways. All I ever need is 5 to 10 minutes, because on occasion, I have my Zooms scheduled between I think 10 and 12:30, so 2.5 hours. But I don't have, that's what the window. I don't have Zooms all the time. So generally speaking, I just need 5-10 minutes. And usually, even if I'm on a Zoom with somebody, I'll have you guys come in anyway, because for heaven's sake, that's a testimonial. Hey, every time we talk to Sean, he fucking takes care of things.
I like it.
Well, thank you very much for your help, and we're definitely gonna be coming to you more often.
I'm happy to help.
Okay. We'll get we're gonna get going or on this letter and then I will send it over. It's okay with you. I'll send it over for your review.
Oh, 100%. I love
Okay.
doing that.
All right, beautiful.
And Jay, I think that Sean is saying too that he'll help us with coming up with pricing, even, if we're not sure how to price a change order to them.
Okay.
I'll give you ideas, but I can't come up with the numbers. I'm never going to allow myself to get pulled in as a witness or testimony, or even if you guys send me a subpoena, I'm going to go to Cancun for a week.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right, guys.
All right. Thanks a lot, Sean.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet.
Bye-bye.
Bye.